We are on our first Frontier adventure
with the Go Wild Pass.
Stay tuned till the end of the video to see how much we saved in 1 week using our Go Wild Pass. We interrupt these Italian adventure videos to talk about the Frontier Go Wild Pass that we started using this month. Also, if you're looking for domestic and international travel deals, check out FairDrop that's having a sale this weekend. There's a link below if you're interested. We're Rich and Robin. Follow along on our adventures in and out of our midlife van. The Go Wild Pass gives you unlimited travel for a year by just paying a small airport fee per flight with about 30 blackout dates.
We bought the pass
In November,
Yeah, Black Friday special when it first came out.
$600 each.
It's gone through a few variations since then.
Yeah, they have some. The original price of that is $2,000. We got it for $600. Now they have some summer passes available for like $500.
$4.99. Yeah.
So it's.
Go Wild Passes cannot be booked in the app, and you have to use a browser. Tickets can only be purchased 1 day in advance for domestic flights and 10 days for international. There are not always seats available, as if a flight is too full, they won't be offering Go Wild seats. So it helps to be flexible when booking your trips.
Frontier is a stickler when it comes to carry-ons.
Baggage, all baggage.
All baggage. And so even their personal bag has to fit in a sizer. And
which is smaller than a lot of personal items on a lot of other flights.
Well, it's smaller than most backpacks. You know? So you have to get like a special backpack so we did a little research and we think we're going to be okay. So we got 8 days worth of travel on 2 personal bags. Supposedly some of the gate agents are sticklers where you can't even push it down in the sizer. You actually have to just like drop it and it has to slide down. So we'll see if we run into any of those. If so, we're going to be wearing layers and layers of clothes.
That's right. Well, it fit. It fits by pushing. Yours, on the other hand, will it fit by pushing?
This is a final warning call for passengers
There you go.
on Frontier Airlines Flight 582 today.
So originally when we bought the pass, you had to book only a day in advance or 10 days advance for international, but they keep enticing people to buy the summer pass by letting you book in advance.
Like weeks in advance.
For a certain amount of time. And so the last special ended
Beginning of May.
And then a few days later, they started it again till the end of May.
Yeah.
So I think they just want people to buy the summer passes. But we have a year pass. Our pass officially started May 2nd, but they did roll it back to April 15th or something like that. So we're on our first adventure with Frontier, and it's worked out pretty good.
It has worked out.
Yeah.
The timing of the flights aren't ideal.
Yeah.
But we got time on our hands, so we're not in a big rush.
As a retired couple, we're a little more flexible than the average traveler. For our first Frontier adventure, I was kind of looking at Boston, but I also wanted to go to like Charleston and Savannah. In my research, I found to get to either Charleston or Savannah that Frontier only flies from Philadelphia. So I had to reverse engineer this whole itinerary a little bit to find out how could we get to Savannah or Charleston. So that's how we ended up in Philadelphia for our layover. We couldn't quite get there for Boston, so we would have had to go to Boston, back to Philadelphia, to the south. So we decided to just pivot a little bit and head to Philadelphia, where we spent a day, and then head down to Charleston and Savannah. Being flexible for us has worked for the Frontier Pass.
Frontier is a budget airline. They don't have as many flights. And then on top of that, for the Go Wild Pass, what they do is if the flight looks like it's going to be full, then they don't offer any Go Wild Pass seats or tickets. So it makes it difficult to try to get somewhere, and the layovers can be quite long, but we've been able to negotiate that.
For this trip, the layovers did cost us a little bit in hotels just because we had to fly into Philadelphia, which we explored Philadelphia, so that worked out well. But flying home, we have a layover overnight in Denver, so that's going to cost us a hotel. We've mostly used points for our hotel rooms on this trip.
And we
use the Priceline hot deals to get last minute cheap accommodations, so that's kind of worked out for us.
So we have to take all that in consideration when we're looking at these so-called free flights that we're doing.
Is another hotel room worth a free flight? Up early, headed for another Frontier flight.
Yes, let's go to Charleston, South Carolina.
Let's go. For the airports we've flown through so far, we left Orange County, we went through Vegas.
Yep, Vegas to Philly.
And from Philadelphia to Charleston.
South Carolina.
And then from Savannah, Georgia, back to Philadelphia.
Yep.
And now we're flying out from Philadelphia
to
Denver to Orange County.
Back to Orange County.
So we'll have to see how Denver goes for their luggage check. But so far, Vegas has been the only airport
big stickler
that checked every single person's bag to make sure it fit.
And so it's not even specific for the Go Wild Pass customers, it's for all their customers. They have a really strict policy of your personal carry-on. You can only have one personal carry-on item, and they have a sizer bin, and they are very verbal and diligent about making sure that it has to fit in that sizer.
So our sizers, we fit with a little slight push. We were still good to go. Other people, their personal item fit, but they also had like a shoulder bag, and they're like, nope, you can't have both.
You have to combine
the two. When we were in Savannah, coming back to Philadelphia, they made an announcement that they were going to check the size of everybody's bags. For the flights to Savannah to Philadelphia, it's just a back and forth. That's the only thing Frontier does there. And they even said, we know Philadelphia doesn't check everybody's bags, but here we do. And when we got on board, the flight was like half full. They didn't check anybody's bags.
So I really do think it's depending on how full the flight is.
And in Savannah, they were also nice enough to say, if you think you're going to have a check on, don't do it at the desk here. It's going to be $99. Do it on your app right now before you get to this point, because it'll be cheaper. So they were trying to save some people money.
I think it's still like $65, right?
I think so. But they were at least forthcoming with people, like you can save some money.
$30, yeah.
It's better to bring a smaller personal item, but if you're going to bring a carry-on, it's better to buy it sooner than later.
Yes.
With the Frontier Airlines, with our Go Wild Pass, we paid $25, I think, to get from Orange County to Philadelphia, and $15 to get from Philadelphia to Charleston. Does not include, like we mentioned before, bags. Just one carry-on item, but one personal item, but also does not include seat selection.
Right.
So in the app, you can set your preference to where you would like to seat. Rich's app, he has it set up front of the airplane aisle. My app will not save my selections, so I have no selection saved. But since we are set up
together
as travel companions in the app, and when we booked, we have sat next to each other on every seat. On our flight from Vegas to Philadelphia, which was an overnight flight, a red eye, we decided to pick our seats so that since we knew we'd be sleeping, that we were sitting next to each other, and that cost us.
It wasn't that much. It was like $20, right, each, right?
I think it was $18 each. The other times that we didn't pick our seats, we still sat next to each other.
Right, in the same row.
In the same row. So that worked out fine. We didn't get our preference, or Rich didn't get his preference on this last flight, but since it was not even half full, they allowed us to move to another row where we had the whole row to ourselves.
The flight attendant was really nice,
So picking seats, though it's nice, is not really necessary with the Go Wild Pass. And if you're traveling with more than one person and you guys are connected on that same reservation, you can do the Go Wild reservations with multiple people that have the pass. And on one reservation, then it looks
There's
like
a good likelihood that you'll all be in the same room
together.
You know, so
and the one that we did pay for, we bought me a window, Rich an aisle, and we had the whole row to ourselves.
Nobody's sitting in between us.
So we paid for our seats, but we also got a whole row. And I think on that flight, there might have only been a handful of seats empty. So we really lucked out on that one.
Yeah, so that's always a gamble too. If you pick a aisle and pick a window, still they could have somebody in the middle.
Right. As far as flying Frontier and having delayed or canceled flights, so far so good for us. Our first flight from Orange County to Vegas, easy flight, 45-minute flight, whatever.
Yep.
On time, not a problem. Our flight from Las Vegas to Philadelphia, which was a red eye, we sat on the plane. First of all, they board the planes very early, 45 minutes early.
Yeah, they board them really early, and
they close their doors 15 minutes before departure.
It's like on clockwork. I mean, it's like
you got to be very, very careful with that.
And make sure you are not late to the gate. Get there early. So
far with Frontier, we haven't had too much of an issue with delays or cancellations. One of the 4 flights so far was delayed. We sat on the plane for an extra 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I had it screenshotted while we waited for some people that were connecting flights to get on the plane, which
it was the last flight of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did that because it was the last flight of the day. Yeah. So those people didn't miss their flight. We really weren't put out too much because we were landing at 7 something in the morning in Philadelphia, and then we landed at 8 something. It's not like we were going to do anything that early in the morning. So we weren't put out by that at all. Other people might have if they had to get to a meeting or something, but it's also nice to know if you have a connecting and you're connecting to the last flight of the day at the airport, they might wait for you if there's multiple people on that plane. So
Robin,
just got off our last flight of Frontier.
The big orange sheet. Frontier
and we did 6 flights.
6 flights
in 8 days.
And actually it worked out really well.
Yeah.
We only had like one time they really forced us to do the baggage check.
In the sizer.
In the sizer, yeah.
And we were good to go.
Yeah, so I think this is going to work.
The last 2 flights were overbooked. They were offering people money to
$700 in credit, but it's not till Saturday.
To come back to Orange County by Saturday, you'd have to go to Ontario or San Diego. And we have plans this time, but even with the Go Pass and the overbooked flights, we still had our seats and we were good to go.
And we've had decent seats too.
Yeah. So far the Frontier Pass has been a great experience for us.
I think we're going to do a lot more. Totally got our money's worth, Rob. So I think we booked 5 flights so far.
We have.
And
because they had a special, they let you book in advance through September 3rd.
And so far, according to Frontier, if you were silly enough to pay full price for those flights, we've saved like $2,100. So we've already made our money back.
But we would not have spent that much on Frontier. Yeah. On top of it, the price has gone up since we bought the pass. We bought it for $599. Right after that, it went up to what, $800?
Yes.
And now they have
a summer pass for $500.
Yeah. So I think we got a good deal.
I think we got a really good deal. So we'll have to see how the rest of the year goes. But so far,
check us in a year and we'll tell you how it all went.
All along for our adventures. Got 1 year's worth of adventures with Frontier. We're going to see how this works out.